Speaking out of Akron, Ohio, representing Team Popping the Boys, the headline god, Jeremy Lambert, and his co-host, speaking out of Atlanta, Georgia, representing more than one royal family, the king of indie viewing, Stephen Jensen. And this is the Spotlight on Fightful.
Welcome to the Spotlight here on Fightful. I'm Jeremy Lambert. That's Stephen Jensen. And shout out, as always, to Big Dick MLJ for the intro. It is Thursday, May 8th. As always, packed world of wrestling going on this week, last week, all the weeks. It never slows down when it comes to wrestling. We had financials call today. It's always fun listening to a bunch of billionaires talk about how they're a bunch of billionaires. 5 days, 6 days after releasing a bunch of talent. That's always good. You know, Love that in the world of wrestling. Jensen, how you doing?
Yeah, it seems to happen every time too, when they it kind of coincides yearly with like WrestleMania, then the cuts, then bragging about how great business is. Was there anything else? I haven't been tapped in at all. Was there anything notable that like came out of that other than just like the financials? Like nothing notable.
There's never anything notable that comes out of those things, honestly. Like there used to be when Vince was doing it, because Vince would just say some stuff and he was obviously like the head of WWE and that was the focus. It was just WWE. Nowadays, ever since the TKO purchase, it's Mark Shapiro. It's stuff about UFC as well. Like Nick Khan answered one question barely about the purchase of AAA. Otherwise, that was about it. So, yeah, nothing really comes out of those things nowadays. They're pretty boring. Again, just a bunch of white billionaires talking about how rich they are.
Yeah, well. Yeah, nothing really super notable on my end, I don't think right now. I haven't been keeping up really with the NBA playoffs, but I did see that the Timberwolves advanced past the Lakers, so that's pretty cool. Cool that Anthony Davis is not Anthony Davis.
Anthony Edwards.
Anthony Edwards. Jeez, I'm getting confused. Anthony Edwards. It's cool that he's become such like a big superstar. I'm hoping the good vibes. I hope they go all the way and the good vibes translate over to my Vikings, like, because that's, what I really care about is my Minnesota Vikings. So if this can somehow help the Vikings out, I'm all for it. But yeah, nothing else really going on for the most part. My birthday's coming up in a couple weeks. So taking some more time off work later towards the end of the month. But yeah, just been busy with work and stuff, but nothing super crazy. Also, by the way, everyone, Josh Bishop is going to be joining us at 7:30 Eastern time tonight. So should be on for about a half hour or so. Recently won the BLP heavyweight championship from the former Jinder Mahal. So looking forward to talking to Josh. But yeah, anything else going on with you?
Staying busy, going to a death metal concert tomorrow. That should be something. We'll see. We'll see if I survive. But yeah.
Is it like your wife's bands, like her groups that she's into?
Yeah, you know I don't listen to that stuff. It's not my gig at all, but it's a whole festival, so it's a whole like day long event. So it's not just like one band. It's from like 11 to like 11 is this whole thing. So we'll see if I survive.
I remember when we had Jared Bailey on not too long ago, we were talking about some of the names of the bands. What are some of the more outrageous names you'll be seeing?
Let me pull this up. I'll pull up the list. So her one of our favorite bands is Acid Bath. That's why we're going to tomorrow. They play tomorrow, and it's like their first like big tour or big like concert in years, decades. I don't know. I don't keep up with it. I have no idea what it is.
She just she said peeling flesh.
Peeling flesh, sure. The headliner is Metallica, so I assume everybody knows Metallica. So that's at least a band I'm familiar with.
Oh, yeah, of course.
The rest of these bands, so there's these aren't like 200 Stab Wounds. That's
Oh
one.
yeah, she just
The Black-
sent me like a list.
The
This
Black
is-
Delilah murder. Sure. Yeah. Cannibal Corpse. I've heard of them.
I've heard of them.
ICP is actually playing, Jensen. I know that'll pop.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's what's up. Whoop whoop.
Uh,
Run with the hatchet for my juggalos.
Oh, they're playing. I don't know if I'll actually see them because I think they're playing at like a similar time that another band is like playing. So we'll see. Like, yeah, it's multiple stages and stuff. So you got to go from like one stage to another stage to see all the bands you want to see. And obviously, the most important one is the Acid Bath, and we'll see how whenever they're playing. That's obviously what will be who we will be seeing.
I remember I told you you and Jarrett when we were talking about this before. Especially a name like Acid Bath reminds me of an early Always Sunny episode where they had to come up with names for like these like crazy bands they were doing for this scheme, and they came up with the name Chemical Toilet. I still think that's like the funniest. Like that's right on par with like Acid Bath.
Yeah.
But hey, listen, I'm just making fun of the names of this stuff just because it's funny. But like, I've talked about it before on the show. I won't go down a whole rabbit hole, but I really do respect like artists, and I think like the ICP and stuff. Like they've always stayed in their own lane. They never got any mainstream, press and push or anything. And like they've always had like their pro wrestling fans who were backyard wrestlers that made it in music and kind of merged both things. Like. And if it isn't for you, it isn't for you. Like, if you don't mess with it, you don't mess with it. Like and that's how it is with a lot of stuff. Even pro wrestling and so much different art and sports and hobbies that people are into. Like, even if I think that the name of something is kind of like goofy or whatever, like I respect people for like being themselves and like doing this stuff. Like, cause it is respectable. So, how long has Acid Bath been around? I wonder how long that band's been formed.
I have no idea. I'm sure she'll.
But that's why I'm asking.
Yeah, I assume she'll message
you
and let you know. I mean, I can Google it. I can at least Google. They were active from starting in 1991. 90s. Apparently, there you go.
All right. Well, hope you have fun at that. Yeah, my plans for the weekend are pretty much. I'm doing a Mother's Day lunch with my stepmom, my dad, and my brother at my favorite restaurant. Shout out $3 Cafe, Atlanta, Georgia, Sandy Springs. I'll go ahead and just dox myself there if anyone wants to show up. But if anyone wants a picture with me and my family on Mother's Day, that's where I'm going to be at this weekend. And then there's WWE Backlash later that day, so it should be a good day. And then Sunday. I don't know what the schedule looks like for like GCW and some of the bigger indie shows, but I'll mainly probably be watching indie wrestling and responsibly gambling on sports. And what was the other thing? Oh yeah, recording the weekend or potentially, depending on what's going on in the world of wrestling. So it'll be either on Sunday or Monday, FightfulSelect.com. All right, you ready to talk about some wrestling, Jeremy?
Get into some wrestling. Guys, if you're here, leave a thumbs up on the video. See if I'm trying to do subliminal messaging on this show. I don't know if it's there. It is. There's subliminal messaging. Leave a thumbs up on the video. Subscribe to the channel. That helps us out. And leave a super chat. Get your question, comment, statement read on the air. Let's get into it. Let's get into WWE.
I need to finish the story. In the WWE, the story never finishes.
Never finishes, and it will not finish, or it will finish, for John Cena and Randy Orton. The last time ever, allegedly, The Rock and John Cena was once in a lifetime, and then it happened a year. I'm not believing this last time ever until John Cena is officially retired. And even then, I'm not going to believe it. John Cena, Randy Orton, undisputed WWE Championship. John Cena wins. Does Cody return? I know that's the only thing you actually care about is will we get Cody Rhodes at the end of this match?
I mean, that is probably the most important question that needs to be answered. But as far as to be completely honest, I'm just really hoping the match is better than what we got at WrestleMania with Cody and Cena. Like, I mean, that's like honestly like because no, I'm just saying I'm hoping that that's what we get, you know. And that's a fairly low bar. And y'all know how much I love Cody, and I don't put really much of this on him. And I put a decent amount of it on Cena because Cena hasn't looked great in the last few years, and he hasn't had many singles matches and stuff. Hasn't been great, but there was all the other layers to WrestleMania, the Travis Scott stuff that I didn't like, The Rock not showing up. It was more than just Cody and Cena's. You know, that's not the only reason I didn't like that main event. And you know, especially in comparison to like last year's main event, which was my favorite match of all time. But I think that I just hope this match is better. Like, you know, I don't know what the problem with a match like this with these two guys in particular is they're going to be relying completely on the atmosphere of the arena because it's going to be slow. It's going to be rest holds. Like, this is what Randy Orton already does, but he's just super over. So, like, and then it's going to be the Let's Go Cena. Cena sucks. Like, I doubt they turn on Randy Orton in his own hometown, but we've seen crazier things happen. Like, I don't know. So it's going to be really more about the atmosphere than the match, but I feel like they're going to milk so much time. Like, they're going to do like, you know, face to face and like feel out the crowd and, you know, push each other around a little bit and put each other in headlocks. And, you know, it's going to be, I don't have super high hopes for it, but I'm hoping the crowd is into it. And I'm just hoping it's better than we got at WrestleMania.
I don't think it's going to be good. And I say this as someone who absolutely loves John Cena. I don't think it's going to be good. It wasn't good.
Logan says in the chat, CJ Spory, like, was it ever really? Was the matchup ever actually
So
good? That's a good point.
That was going to be my point. Is when they were in their prime, not like they were tearing down the house. They were having matches. Some of them were okay. Like there were some okay matches in there. Don't ask me to remember them because I don't. My memory doesn't work that well, but certainly none of them stood out of like, oh, this is a match you got to like go out of your way to see and everything. So
one of their matches was that one that had like where like Orton hit the ref. Remember that one?
Yeah.
He like DQ'd himself. Watch them do that in this. Like Cena's gonna wind up DQing.
I hope so. I a lot of people have said that they might harken back to that in this match, which is possible. I think it'd be funny if that's what John Cena decided to do. If he was just like, yeah, I'm just gonna hit the ref and then DQ. You can't do that in the main event though. They already do a DQ finish on literally every single show that they do. They can't do that in the main event for this. They shouldn't. I don't think it's gonna be great. Again, I love Cena. Orton is doing well in his almost like new peak form that he is in, but they work a slow, methodical pace. John Cena even more so now because he's not the guy he used to be. Even he admits that. And that's what we're going to get in this match. We're going to get a slow, methodical pace. And the crowd will have to carry it because I don't think the wrestlers are going to be up for putting together a top tier match. So the atmosphere will be good, at least. Hopefully the St. Louis crowd comes alive.
Yeah, we get what we get, I suppose. I don't know what. I don't know, man. I'm with you. I'm just hoping that because I feel like everybody involved has to be aware of this. You know, like going into it, like everything we just said. But I don't know. I think it's going to be, like we keep mentioning, it's going to be heavily reliant on the atmosphere. Like, here's the thing: I'm not expecting it to be The Rock versus Hulk Hogan at WrestleMania. Okay, I'm not comparing this to that before it even happens. But like that match, if you watch it on mute, is a completely different match than like when you hear the crowd. It's a completely different experience, and that's kind of what this I feel like is going to be. Like, I don't expect it to be a very good in-ring match, and I really hope that Travis Scott.
I hope Travis Scott's there.
Or if he does, like you would think Cody would come out and like, you know, fend off Travis Scott or something. But, you know, this has to be done in a way in which John Cena leaves as the champion. And I'm hoping it isn't off of a DQ. I do think that'd be super lame, especially in the main event to close a pay-per-view out.
What if
last year? It's Cody defending the title for the first time against AJ. Got that picture?
Yeah, now he's not on the show, and he's been disappearing since WrestleMania because he can't handle the grind anymore. QB1 sulking in his living room. What a champion. What if John Cena holds Randy Orton in a chin lock for 20 minutes?
I mean, collectively, like, I know you're saying like it's straight, but like, I think we could get a total, like, collectively of headlocks of not quite 20 minutes, but I would say maybe around, I'd say 8 to 10. Like, if Wrestle Rumble was still up, that'd be a good prop. It'd be like riding time in amateur wrestling. Like, I think, I legitimately think we could get like 8 minutes total in that match of them in a headlock with one another.
I want the whole match to just be a headlock, and Cena's still like yelling out spots as they're in the headlock. And he's just like, tackle, drop down, get it again. But they're just staying in the headlock the whole time. So the match is actually what Cena is yelling. And you have to think about it in your mind of like, oh, this is the match they want to have. But instead, they're just in a headlock the entire 18 minutes that I assume this match is going to go. This is next level professional wrestling right here.
This is blowing my mind. Like, this is the future. This is this is what pro wrestling is going to be once it starts doing what the NFL has done, but like it takes it way too far to the point where they're like no longer having matches and they're sitting next to each other in a chair with a microphone and just explaining what the match would be if they were actually wrestling one another. That's very meta.
I've cracked professional wrestling, folks. This is all you got to do.
Well, at the end of the day, the kind of crazy thing is most of the people that I think spend most of their time like obsessing over pro wrestling and like talking about it constantly and stuff, they would actually be more concerned with that than they are like what they're actually seeing week to week. Like, because I think they're like more concerned with just like who's winning, who's being pushed, why is this happening, why is this not happening? It's just like, are you even watching the wrestling? Like, I think you're cool just reading about it. But anyway, I think we're in agreement. I think the chat is as well. I didn't even mention at the top of the show. Good to see everyone in the chat today. I see a lot of regulars in here. Always appreciate y'all joining us live and everyone who's watching us on demand here on Fightful Overbooked. Appreciate it. I don't think anyone's looking forward to this match. And I think the best point made is what you were going to bring up and what Hogan had brought up in the chat. Like, was it ever even a good matchup to begin with when they were in their prime? And I would say no. Like, I remember back then, I was wanting them to push anyone but John Cena, and I definitely didn't want to see him wrestling Orton. And that was the same even with, like, I can't remember if the matches with Batista were, like, much better or not, but I remember not even liking those types of matchups back then and stuff because it was, like, too generic. And, like, all my guys that I liked were, like, not getting pushed or they were veterans that, were getting beat by these guys. So, yeah, it's kind of weird. It's kind of wild when you, like, think about it in hindsight. And it's like, yeah, this matchup was never good to begin with. And we haven't seen it in 8 years for a reason, probably. And now, they're going to be main eventing in Orton's hometown at Backlash. So, prediction Cena for both of us. Or at least Cena leaving with the championship, regardless of how it winds up happening. So,
what if Cena?
And I think Cody could show up to answer your question. I think he could.
What if Cena just has a different rapper? Like, so every event, like, he just has a new rapper who helps him out. So it's Travis Scott at WrestleMania. What if it's a Future at Backlash?
I mean, I don't really like the idea of doing that. Now, if they were like big wrestling fans, that's
wait, hold on. I don't know why I went Future. We're in St. Louis. Nelly
Murphy Lee, the St. Lunatics, the entire St. Lunatics.
Yeah.
Okay. Batter up. The first swing. Yeah, dude. I remember those days. Those were the days when I was making burn mix CDs and listening to a lot of that stuff. I had Nelly's original album for sure. Yeah, it was a good dude. I used to have the subwoofers in the back of my first car that I bought for $6,000, and I would bump Nelly all the time in that thing. And that Isuzu Rodeo, and that '98 Isuzu Rodeo that I bought off the side of the road. that my subwoofers cost more than the actual vehicle did. Anyways, that'd be a good. Listen, I'm all for people being involved that like are going to actually add to it. Like for instance, when I see, I might botch his name. Is it Little Yachty, the one who like I've seen on like Mr. Beast and stuff? He's kind of all over the place, but I don't know any of his music. Little Yachty. He's gone to like some WWE. Michael Cole has shouted him out. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
But like, he's clearly not a WWE fan. Like he's been to some of the shows, but like if they were to get him involved, I'd be like, it's almost like clickbait, like it's like a cash grab. But when you have like Bad Bunny, for instance, like the dude loves it, and like I'm all for like if Bad Bunny was on the show every week, I'd be for it. You know what I mean? Like so, that's kind of where I'm at with that. I wouldn't want them just adding like more celebrities just for the sake of getting the clicks on the celebrities if they're not actually adding anything positive to the show or the experience for the fans or anything. And if they're ruining storylines, like major storylines, like the biggest heel turn of all time.
But this is now the storyline. John Cena using his famous friends to help him win matches. That's the storyline. They're not ruining it. They're enhancing it.
Well, no, because it's not very good right now, the story.
That's what I'm saying. They're going to bring in Nelly to help him.
Listen, if they bring in Nelly or any of these St. Lunatics to this show, I will pop for it. Okay. Like I'm not against the idea of this in this very specific scenario with this very specific rap group. Okay. But if you just name like Future, like you said, for instance, I'd be like, no, like, why would I want to see that?
Again,
I mean, that is nothing for me.
That's the story, though. John Cena's famous rap friends. John Cena, famous rapper himself.
Yeah. I'm kind of surprised he hasn't, unless I've missed it. Has he been rapping at all in this heel turn?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think he had been. Yeah. I don't have much more to add to that. I mean, I wouldn't be against the idea of more people being added to this group with Cena if it made sense, even if they were celebrities. But we have a very short time between now and the end of the year now to like go full circle and get back to John Cena babyface before he retires. So I don't know how deep they're going to dig into.
All the rappers are going to turn on John Cena at the end of the year, and that's how he becomes a babyface again. Nelly is going to turn on him. Travis Scott. What other appearances did John Cena have that I can name rappers from their hometown? Hold on. Let me pull up John Cena's schedule. We actually have that on Fightful.com if anybody wants to keep up. We have John Cena's like his appearance list, his confirmed appearances of what's left. All right. So St. Louis, Florida. You can get somebody from Florida, Tennessee,
BLP kosher. Okay.
Australia,
Tennessee, 3-6 Mafia. Who was the next one?
Australia. You know any Australian rappers?
Is Central C Australia? No, he's not Australian.
Who Central C is?
You never heard of Central C?
No.
Even I know who that is.
Will Smith as the Florida rapper, even though Will Smith is Miami and they're going to be in Tampa, so not quite the same.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the end of the year,
my Florida vote is BLP Kosher, the greatest Jewish rapper of all time.
What about Flo Rida?
Broward County.
Flo Rida as the Florida rapper.
Oh no more Flo Rida in WWE. No more of that. I heard enough Flo Rida that one WrestleMania to last me a lifetime. Him and Lunch Money Lewis have haunted me forever with the WrestleMania themes. It was a catchy song. It was the "Welcome to My House." Wasn't that them? Yeah. Dude, they played that. They overplayed that so bad. Oh man. Yeah.
Cyclops better than Wolverine says Cena's from Boston, so bring in Benzino for backup. Boston, the mean streets of Boston. So they all turn on Cena at the end of the year, and that's how we get John Cena back to a babyface. Is this group of rappers have jumped him out, and they stomp on the "My Time Is Now" CD. And they said, this shit is trash. Can't believe they gave you a record deal because you were a wrestler. Get this trash ass album out of here. And then John Cena, for his final babyface act, one by one, he battles all these dudes. So now he doesn't have to battle cardboard cutouts of Fabulous and Jay-Z. He can battle all of these rappers and he can cut them down. And then he hits the AA on them all. And that's how John Cena's wrestling career ends, by battling rappers and laying them all out.
By battling rappers, but not battle rapping.
I mean, it could be a battle rap, but like the rappers don't get to respond. It's 20 verse 1. He's got to smack the people who write with him as well.
Yeah. I mean, so nothing we're talking about is going to even happen. There's not even close to a possibility. But
this is why I got to get the ROH pencil, everybody. This is the kind of stuff I'd be booking every week in ROH whenever they give me the pencil.
Well, more people might watch it on Honor Club than currently do.
I'm trying to get the ROH pencil. I'm making appeals, but
you're just trying to get Jack Harlow to do Blake Christian music. That's your entire end game. That's the whole scheme here. Is like you're just trying to get close to Blake Christian and maybe close to Jack Harlow. I don't know.
I don't care about Jack Harlow. He might be part of my rap group that is going to turn on John Cena though. So might need Jack Harlow for this.
Well, you might have to battle against me and my frat bros because I'm legacy with Jack Jameson and the homies. So
I would push the frat bros whenever I get the ROH pencil. I love those guys.
You see that? He said that on Twitter. He said it was legacy. He said it was in.
That's fair.
They actually, I never told you about that. Well, I might have to tell you off air. They're trying to involve me in their federation currently. Okay. And I'm like on the fence about how involved I want to actually get. But they're trying to nudge me into some stuff. And I don't know. I'm definitely listen, guys.
Are you going to be a pledge?
I'm 36. I'm just saying DDP started at 35. So just saying.
You're going to be a pledge, Jensen? You're going to have to like.
No, I'm legacy. I'm already in. Okay. I don't have to do any of the pledging. I can haze the new pledges.
Okay. All right. Fair. What else is on this show? Gunther and Pat McAfee. You excited for this one? This is right up here.
So I actually am. I think the match is going to be solid. There's the two school of thoughts, right? One, you don't really want to make Gunther look too competitive with Pat, considering the position Gunther's in, coming off his world title run, and you want him to still be a top guy, and like it's not a great look that. I know obviously McAfee did some stuff in NXT that was really good. The Adam Cole match, he was in War Games. They had but in WWE, all we've really seen that I can remember is like the stuff at WrestleMania that like Vince and like Stone Cold was like kind of involved in, and then he was in the Royal Rumble and like eliminated himself because he was scared, it is kind of a weird look. Like he hasn't been booked as strong as an actual in-ring wrestler on WWE that we've seen in NXT. Very small sample size, of course, obviously, not many matches. But the reason I'm saying this is because McAfee's capable of having a great match. And I think him and Gunther could go out there and tear the house down for however long they give them to go out there. But you also have to do it in a way, in my opinion, where Gunther doesn't look vulnerable and like definitively wins. Like there's no reason for Pat McAfee to beat Gunther unless there was some sort of like Bill Goldberg interference or something that I could maybe see happening. Like, because I think they're going to set up Goldberg versus Gunther still. So I don't know if that has anything to do with this, because you bring in McAfee, maybe brings in Goldberg or something like that. But like, what I think is even more so important though about this match, honestly, is this is crazy. So I've been watching wrestling since like 93 or whatever. I mean, we're over 30 years. My dad has never been interested in pro wrestling. Never really asked me about it. Not for him, hated that I was into it when I was growing up. But like, obviously at this point, like he supports that I'm a fan of it. Like he doesn't think it's weird anymore, pretty much. He's been texting me this week like asking me how he can watch the McAfee versus Gunther match live, because he watches the McAfee show every day. That's his new sports. He watches him and Rich Eisen, and he used to watch all the other older guys, but like over the last few years, he's McAfee daily for the whole show. And so my dad's a big fan of his and his crew and everyone. So, and I know he's not alone like that. And that's why something like this is also really important. And as wrestling fans, it's like, there's the double-edged sword of it. Like, I've said it 1,000 times, and I stand by this. I think Pat McAfee is a terrible professional wrestling announcer. I thought he has been since day one. I've never liked his commentary. I think he's annoying. But I also understand why he's there, and he's a great contrast, very similar to Don West and Mike Tenay in the early TNA days. You have the guy who knows everything about wrestling and Michael Cole, and you got the super fan who's there yeeting on the announce table like he's one of the fans. And the eyes he brings into WWE, that's a real thing. He provides a lot of value to that company. And it's people like my dad who are not pro wrestling fans. They're going to tune in and maybe even buy Peacock. My dad's like going to get Peacock to watch the match.
Can't give him your account?
I mean, maybe I could. I don't know how it works with some of these apps anymore, because like sometimes they have like the in-home stuff where like it still doesn't work unless you're like actually within the Wi-Fi. I don't know. I'll give him my login if it works. To be fair, I'll give him a login. But he's willing. And my dad's very frugal. Like, to get him to spend $5 on anything is not easy. Like, as weird as that sounds, guy's retired and has done great, but he still buys the like off-brand everything at the grocery store. He's just that kind of guy. He's always been like that. So for him to be like, yeah, I'll spend $5 to watch Pat McAfee wrestle one wrestling match, it's a pretty big deal. And I sent him the Adam Cole match because it's free on YouTube. Him and McAfee, and my dad watched it, and he was like, "Oh yeah," he's like hyped up for this match now, and he's never been in pro wrestling before. So there's something to be said about that.
He'll be super jazzed when Goldberg comes out at the end of this match.
I called that. I said Goldberg could come out.
Yeah.
I do think they're going to do Goldberg and Gunther. I think that is the retirement match Goldberg keeps talking about, and they trust or teased it at Bad Blood in Atlanta when I was there. Yeah. Speaking of that too, this is off topic and we're not going to talk about it much. It just reminded me, UFC is coming to Atlanta in like a month, and it's like a fight night. It's not even a numbered pay-per-view, and we can't get free tickets to it like I've been able to in the past for like WWE and stuff. So I was looking at the actual ticket prices. I was like, there's like, unless like John Jones was fighting, I don't even know. Honestly, I couldn't think of a big enough fight that the UFC could put on right now that would justify me paying the prices to go to that show. Like,
I'm gonna look this up now. I'm very curious of
what we're talking a fight night where the top fight is like, I think Kamaru Usman's fighting. I think Rosemont Muniz is fighting. But we're talking like, the last times they were here, I got to see, I have some of the posters on my wall. I saw Robbie Lawler, Tyron Woodley at UFC 201 for the title, John Jones, Rashad Evans for the title at UFC 145. I saw Holloway versus Poirier and Kevin Gastelum versus Israel Adesanya at UFC 236 here live. And that was all justifiable. I was like, yeah, what are the prices?
The cheapest one is $226.
Yeah. Just to get in the building, over $200 to see Kamaru Usman fight it in a non-title fight and Rose Namajunas fight in a non-title fight.
Yeah, that's
insane
too. It does does include like the fees and everything, which
that's still
the fees are absurd, because I'm sure it's like a $150 ticket, which is still a little hefty. But then you tack on the fees, and it's like, oh yeah, 2 tickets for $450 to just watch a fight night event. I'm pretty sure I paid like $80 for Liddell against Rashad Evans at that same arena way back when. Yeah. And and that's, you expect with inflation and stuff, you expect some of the stuff to go up a little bit. But the reason I even brought it up is because from what I understand, that's what the WWE's been doing too. Like, their prices, I doubt it's that high. It might be, but like, that's it. Like, you can't, that's a slippery slope to go down as a business, where
you're basically boxing out your hardcore audience from being able to even go, and just like pandering to like the basically the upper class non-fans who can afford to get in. Like, that's super lame.
Yeah, $225 for an upper deck ticket for this. Like, you gotta really be a fan of UFC, because I'm sure I could look at this card. You mentioned Kamaru Usman's on this card. Like,
Yeah, I think he's
right.
fighting. He's fighting someone good. I just can't remember off the top of my head.
Like, I've at least heard of Kamaru Usman. Buckley. I don't know who Buckley is.
Yeah, Joaquin Buckley. He fought for the title recently and looked good, but he didn't win.
All right.
But once again, this is not a $200 ticket fight. Like
Rose Namajunas against Maverick. I don't know who Maverick is. Not Logan Paul.
Miranda Maverick. Is that who it is?
Sure. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah.
Hold on. I can. Yeah. Miranda Maverick. Yeah.
Yeah.
Michael Chiesa against Court McGee. Man, those two guys are still fucking around. Jesus.
Yeah, they've been around forever.
After the top 3 fights, and I did not know 2 of the people. I'm sure, like, I've seen Joaquin Buckley fight because I was just watching. I'm sure I've seen Miranda Maverick like fight because I could not tell you what their actual last fights were. And then Chiesa and Court McGee were holdovers from my day. After those top 3 fights, I can't name you a single person on this card.
Well, and I'm sure they'll add more, but like probably, but like I don't know if they will have a bigger main event than anything than what they already have, because excuse me, because they have a pay-per-view like not long after that show. So like that's where the title fights and everything's going to be. But it sucks because I've had multiple people hit me up, like friends or people I haven't seen in like a long time, that have reached out and been like, hey man, I heard the UFC's coming to town, like, because they know I'm into it or they knew I had a podcast or whatever. And they're like, are you going to be going? And I'm like, probably not. Like, I don't really want to buy tickets for this much. Once again, if I could justify it, if there was big enough fights, it'd be a maybe, you know, but like, and then I'm like, look at the ticket prices. Then they look and they're like, oh yeah, never mind. Like, they're not even fight fans. Like, they just heard it was coming to town and they were interested in going, but they're like, oh no, not for that much, you know? Yeah. And I'm a hardcore fan. I watch all the shows. I still watch every pay-per-view. I watch almost every fight night. Like, you know, but yeah, that's
anyway, Gunther's gonna beat Pat McAfee.
Oh yeah, sorry, that was we went off on a whole thing. Yeah, Gunther is gonna beat Pat McAfee, but I hope it's a good match, and there's gonna be a lot of new eyes, and they're gonna get a lot of clips out of that too, like that are gonna go all over social media. And you know, Pat McAfee is an example of, once again, I think he's kind of annoying, but like outside of that, I think he's an overall net positive, like being involved with the WWE because of all the new eyes he does. That crossover he gets is very, very valuable. But you also can't have Gunther losing this match.
Pat McAfee should kick Gunther in the dick, and then Michael Cole should pin Gunther, and Michael Cole wins the match.
I'm going to tell Bishop to feel free to jump on whenever he's ready.
Okay.
Second.
I'm going to pitch all my great ideas to Josh Bishop. See what he thinks about him. He's involved with Fourth Rope. So,
yeah, he's sponsored by Westside Gun.
Yeah, I'll see what he thinks of my rappers take out John Cena gimmick.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he'll have thoughts. Hopefully you don't have to reschedule or anything. He said yo like 5 minutes ago.
Oh, okay.
Like, yo. It was like, yo, feel free to jump in. But I mean, I told him 7:30, so I mean, there's still another 10 minutes. So whenever he's ready, unless he got busy, we'll find out. We'll find out live along with everybody else. It was funny because last week Josh was like, he was telling me, he's like, oh man, I might have to be late because of my job. And I was like, dude, we'll just reschedule it next week. It's no big deal. And he was like, you sure, man? Like, you've been boys for a long time. I don't want there to be any heat. And I was like, dude, do you think I want heat with you? Like, fucking kill me, dude. Like, kill me.
Dude, Bishop will kill you with just like a fist bump.
No, literally. No, yeah. He hits hard.
I know.
He just the ring. Yeah.
Bops you with that shit. He's trying to play bloody knuckles with the fans at ringside. Like, come on, Josh.
Yeah. Oh man, he got me good before. I've known him since his like third match, which is crazy. That was probably like 7-8 years ago. You can find those matches on independentwrestling.tv. Use code Fight Talk. Go watch the old Southern Underground Pro SUP Graps SUP. Go watch those old shows if you want to see my favorite independent wrestling promotion of all time. That was those were the days.
Lyra Valkyria against Becky Lynch. Do you think Becky wins?
I mean, probably. I think it'd be great for Lyra to win. Like, that'd be really good for her. I don't think it would make sense to have Becky come back, win those tag titles, turn on Lyra, and then lose immediately for the Intercontinental Championship. So, like, I'm just leaning towards Becky winning, but I'd imagine this probably isn't the only match we're going to get in, like, a series of these. So, how long have they had this title, by the way? Like, how long has this run been for Lyra? Like 6 months or so?
No, they did the title in January. The Intercontinental. The US title was December. The Saturday night's main event in December. The Intercontinental Finals was January. Because I remember people were like, why wasn't that on the first Raw on Netflix? So I'm pretty sure it was like the second or third Raw on Netflix.
Josh said he might be like 5 minutes late, but he's coming. So you said around. So I wasn't that far off. Thinking 6 months. Just been like 5 months.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's a solid first title reign. Like, it's respectable. What do you think? I'm leaning towards Becky winning.
I think Becky should win, and I think she should do Hulk Hogan spots because people are calling her Becky Hogan. So I think she should lean into it and like win with the big boot and the leg drop just to pop me. I don't care about anybody else, but it would pop me. And then people would be super mad online, and that'd be funny as well.
I don't get the comparison though. Like,
because she just came back and she took out Bayley, and so Bayley didn't get a WrestleMania match, and then she won a title, but then she immediately lost the title, and then she turned on Lyra. And
they're just like treating her like Charlotte.
Basically, anybody who just comes back and like wins, they're just like, oh look, it's Hogan comparisons.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I'll take Becky though. I mean, it makes sense. Cyclops is better than Wolverine. Says Bayley definitely going to help Lyra win. I don't know. So DJ Duke, I didn't see that. He also says that as well. I mean, they got to do something with Bayley. that was nuts leaving her off WrestleMania. Like, whether she knew ahead of time or not, like, just the fact she wasn't on the show and she's like one of the biggest stars the company has is crazy to me. And I think that that was one of the few times where like the majority of the uproar online that I saw seemed pretty justified. People that were upset about how she got done dirty. I'm on board with that.
Yeah, if that was your best creative plan, you should have come up with some better creative plans.
Yeah,
I get 100% see Bayley returning and helping Lyra. I that would make some sense.
Man, Josh is the best, dude. He's like so. He's like, yeah. Sorry, I don't want to read our DMs, but he's like, he feels bad that he's late. I'm like, dude, don't. like we're here. We're gonna be here when you're ready, man.
Well, blame AEW tonight.
Nice
They're running Collision tonight, so I gotta cover that at 8.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes, Collision's tonight.
Well, I completely forgot about that. Well, we'll still run until around 8.
I can multitask. I don't want Josh to think that like I'm shortchanging anything because I have to cover Collision.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Are they doing that because Backlash is on Saturday?
I think it's partially that, but mostly it's the NHL playoffs that are airing on TNT on Saturday, and I truly think that they are gearing up for a potential move to Thursday. Like, it feels like a lot of the stuff that's happening now with 4-hour block of Dynamite and Collision, which we've got in the next couple of months. Like June is when they're doing that, and all these Thursday shows. It feels like they're basically test running for a potential full-time move to Thursday. So, but it is genuinely the NBA and NHL playoffs that have been airing that have shifted the time around so much. I think from AEW's perspective, even though they get better ratings, like if they're following like the NBA playoffs or the NCAA tournament or the NHL playoffs, I think they'd probably prefer to have a set Thursday instead of hey, let's shift things around on this Saturday and let's shift things around on that Saturday. I think they'd probably just rather do Thursday. And now with the NBA being off of TNT next season, Thursday kind of opens up for them.
I mean, that all makes sense. I'd actually probably prefer it to be Thursdays because I usually am like occupied with other stuff on Saturdays, either watching different wrestling or like just doing something else on Saturday nights. So I actually prefer if it was on Thursdays personally, even though I forgot it was tonight. I will also just quickly say I've got Jacob Fatu retaining in the 4-way the U.S. title and Dominic Mysterio retaining over Penta for the IC title at Backlash. I'd imagine you're probably the same with both of those predictions.
Yes. Yeah, I don't think they're taking the titles off of Fatu or Dominic this early.
Me either. We can go kind of quick through like AEW if you want to hit the bumper for that before Josh gets here.
Okay. Here we go.
Over 1 million fans and a great number in the demo tuned in. And it was a great show, and I think it's been a run of great shows.
AEW Dynamite last night. We'll start there, and then we'll jump to next week. But your spotlight for this week was MJF, and he is hurting people because he is trying to join the Hurt Syndicate. Do you think that he actually gets in the Hurt Syndicate, or do you think next week we're getting Cedric Alexander?
So I was going to ask you kind of the same thing. So when MJF came out and beat up Top Flight last night as like his way of like proving himself to the Hurt business or the Hurt Syndicate, I thought that, and maybe we get it next week, but I was actually thinking about Cedric Alexander also. And I was thinking that's who MJF was going to be beating up. Like, cause like they were telling him like, go prove yourself, go beat, like we hurt people. So go hurt people or whatever. And I thought like the person he was going to find was going to be Cedric Alexander. And then that was going to be what set off, MJF versus the Hurt Syndicate, like where he pretty much draws the line. Like he knew that what he was doing by choosing Cedric, you know what I mean? So I could see that happening next week potentially. Or I can see the Hurt Syndicate basically playing this whole segment up next week of like new member joins the Hurt Syndicate and everyone's like, it's all played up like it's going to be MJF and it winds up being Cedric instead. So to answer your question, I think we're going to see Cedric Alexander soon. And I mean, I don't think that I don't know. I don't think that MJF is going to ultimately join the Hurt business. I keep calling it the Hurt business. I can't stop. Hurt Syndicate. I don't think he's going to ultimately join. Although, like, I'm way more for the idea now than I was a few weeks ago. But I still think it's kind of a weird fit. Like, and I guess that what I'm confused about outside of the heel face dynamic of the whole thing, because that whole thing has just been completely scrambled up, I've already talked about that ad nauseum, but is like the big match that you're building towards here, is it MJF and Bobby Lashley? Is that what like all of this ultimately is for? And if it is, why is Bobby Lashley one half of the tag champions? Like, why would you get those belts? Like, I think that I like the tag team. And I like that they're tag champions.
The tag division sucks.
No. I agree. But I'm just, you know what I mean? It's just like, he's like one half of the tag champions in the middle of a high profile singles feud. So like what's Benjamin Shelton supposed to be doing? That was so funny. That's so funny to me that I can't bite my tongue. That's so funny to me that Hulk Hogan got involved in this amateur wrestling company thing that they're trying to start, and he doesn't know Shelton Benjamin's name, who's a prominent amateur wrestler. All these lies that this guy tells. They're so funny.
Like him calling him Benjamin Shelton. Yeah, very dumb. He's an idiot. That's not half as bad as him believing he was the first person to face Brock Lesnar after Brock's UFC run. Like that is where it's like, what are you talking about? You are like, fine, you call the guy you mix up his name, you flip his name. Like, it's stupid. You should be better. You're not better than that. But fine, mistakes happen. The fact that he did it twice, it kind of shows it's not a mistake and he just thinks his name is Benjamin Shelton and he's an idiot. But the thinking he fought Brock Lesnar after Brock's UFC run really just shows how stupid he is.
Yeah, I mean, and it's all stuff that's completely provably false. Like, I mean, you can literally just see the timeline of when Brock was fighting in the UFC and then how Hogan never wrestled him. The only thing they did in the ring after that was that weird, like, Hogan celebration thing that they did where he came out with, like, the NWO and, like, him and Brock were in the ring together. They, like, kind of teased like they were going to do it, but it didn't go anywhere. And, of course, they wrestled each other before Brock left for the UFC when Brock put him in that bear hug. But yeah, I mean, it's not just that. I mean, like, I remember Hogan saying something about, it was some other lie about how, like, he was trying to be recruited to Pride FC back in, like, the 80s, like before Pride ever existed, you know, and stuff. And just like, he just lies. I mean, that's how, there's no other way of saying it, just lies. But anyway, that's I can do an entire episode of the Spotlight on just Hogan's lies. We could easily do that for 2 hours. We just talking about the list of lies and just going through them and how funny it is.
I was hoping their dumb little thing when they were doing the NWO tease of the third man, I was hoping it was a podcast, truthfully.
Yes.
I was like, because at least I'm going to get some, like, entertainment out of this. It's going to be a bunch of bullshit, but at least it's going to, like, be funny to, like, listen to and hear him lie about this stuff. Because the lies don't actually upset. Hulk Hogan as a person upsets me, but his tales don't upset. Like, I find them hilarious that, like, he thinks this stuff is true. Doing a pro wrestling amateur organization, I don't have interest in that. I don't think that's entertaining. I don't find that to be anything, like, fun.
It's literally never worked before. And
like, are you going to fix these amateur fights? Like, I think that's where you.
What I'm worried about. Sorry, I didn't mean to talk over you. But what I'm worried about is, so I think, and we might as well just talk about this until Josh shows up. I think what happened, and I think I've heard the Hulkster talk about this a little bit, or maybe Bischoff, but they, like, there was that big thing where Gable Steveson recently got beat. Yeah. And it was, like, a really big deal for, like, a few days in the sports world. In the amateur wrestling world, it's like the biggest thing that's ever happened. But that's also, like, the niche of the sports world. What I think that their vision is I think they're going to try to make these guys, like, into characters, and they'll have, like, elaborate entrances and the whole deal. And then they'll go out on the mat and do actual, like, legitimate amateur wrestling. But, like, are they going to be in singlets? Are they going to be in, like, regalia, like flamboyant wrestling gear? Like, what are they going to be wrestling in? And, like, what are the rules technically going to, I think it's freestyle wrestling is what they're saying. Yeah. So, like, listen, I've wrestled in high school. I've talked about 1,000 times. Shout out Cody Rhodes. Y'all might have heard him. But it's never translate. Even, like, the best of the best. I mean, in the Olympics, you know, sometimes people catch some steam, but, like, there's high level amateur NCAA wrestling happening every year with these big schools, and no one really pays attention outside of the amateur wrestling world. Like, I don't know how Hulk Hogan and Eric Bischoff think they're about to, like, they're talking about it being bigger than the UFC. So it's like, there's literally no chance. Don't even get me started on me finding out that do you see the power slap stuff? How they're, like, recruiting amateur wrestlers? Yeah. Oh my, dude, I should have made that my spotlight for the entire show. Because That's the worst fucking idea I've heard in my entire
That's going to be
life.
my question to Bishop. Would he do power slam?
Yeah. Oh my God, dude. That's the worst idea I have ever heard. Listen, I'm not judging anyone who gets involved in that. There's some names of some people I've seen that are going to be in this that I'm a fan of and that I like. And like, I just, I hope they make decent money or get the exposure they're looking for by being involved in this. But I'm so against the idea of the power slap sport even existing. Although I do gamble on it. I'm not going to lie. I do. It's terrible. I do. I gamble on power slap every time. I watch it on Rumble. It's literally the only reason I have Rumble downloaded on my as an app. I watch the power slaps and I bet on people getting slapped in the face. How many times will they get
You're
slapped?
contributing to this then, Jensen.
Yeah, it shouldn't exist. It shouldn't.
But you're contributing to this.
Yeah, I am. It's terrible.
It
should not exist. This is more of a testament to my gambling than it is.
You have to call the hotline. You have to.
Dude, listen, if there's going to be if there are going to be doofuses, listen, if there are going to be doofuses out there that are willing to hold their hands behind their back, basically holding a pool noodle, one of those foam noodles from the pool, and let Forrest Griffin stand behind you and hopefully catch your head on the way down. And you're just going to sit there with your dude. They get 2 for flinching. Legit, it's a rule. Like if you flinch, if I go to slap you and you flinch, I get to hit you a second time.
You have to
dude, let's get a real professional in here right now, okay? All right, everyone, we got a guest.
I'm gonna ask him. Yeah. Josh, how are you doing?
I'm on a walk, just enjoying nature, brother. How are you?
Good. Jensen's gonna give you a big intro in a second, but I don't know how much you heard of this conversation.
I didn't hear a single thing, to be honest with you.
Okay. Jensen has an
addiction.
Air
right now?
Yes, we are on.
Yeah, we're live.
All right.
Jensen has an addiction.
How's it going, boys?
He wants to gamble, or he continues to gamble on power slap.
I don't even know what the fuck that is. Oh, that Dana White shit?
Yes.
Yeah.
Bro,
it shouldn't exist.
I don't use the internet.
Good. We're not going to talk about this with Josh. This is a waste of our time. Josh, our guest today, joining us live, VLP champion, Joshua Bishop, a guy that I've been watching. Yes, intense icon. I mean, you can go on.
Legend of the business.
Won every AIW championship like 3 times.
Fucking greatest wrestler Cleveland's ever seen.
Yeah. Basically the new Sid Vicious.
Better than him, though.
Better than Sid Vicious.
I'm with that. Sid wishes he could lace my fucking boots.
I love you, Josh, but hold on.
I love it. Let's go.
Oh, I'm feeling cocky and confident today, boys. I was laying around it for 9 months, just fucking trying to figure out what I was going to do. And I'm ready to go on a run. I'm ready to go on a run.
How are you feeling with everything?
Rejuvenated, man. I needed that. Honestly, I thought my life was over, to be honest with you. Honestly, I was at an all-time low, rock bottom. We can laugh about it now. But, at the time, pretty depressed, just making horrible decisions. But luckily, I had to go through that because, my life was at an all-time high the weekend before I get hurt. You know what I mean? Slammiversary, we're ripping it up. Then we're going into SummerSlam weekend in Cleveland, West Icon pop-up shop, fourth rope, you know what I mean? It's like, all right, it's about to be the takeover. And then your boy breaks his socket off and wakes up with his bone in his bicep on a Sunday morning. And it's just can't do nothing but laugh, honestly. Obviously, it sucks when your bone is stuck in your arm, but you're just waking up and laughing. Of course, this happens to me now. Why wouldn't it? So then got some surgery, got held up by Dr. Jake the Snake Kelsey. Shout out, thank you. And then now I'm ready for a run, man. Laying around from August to about the end of March, early April, just trying to fix my body, fix my mind, as corny as that sounds, but just get my stuff lined up. I'm just ready to go on a run. I feel this is the year I'm going to become the man that for everyone to see, not just those that know me, that know I'm the man.
Oh, man. I love it. I was talking about it before you came on here. I saw you live probably within your first 3 matches.
Yeah. Just a young jabroni.
Yes, and that was in the Basement East, Nashville, Tennessee, Southern Underground Pro. My favorite. That was like my favorite company. I love those tough crap shows, and the senior growth, man, has been a lot of fun. Like over the years, and it sucks watching when you get hurt, but like I knew you'd come back better.
I needed it.
I'm glad that
I swear to God, I needed that because I thought I was so indestructible. Thought I was such the man, like in every aspect. Like, oh fuck you! Like, I seriously thought I was like Shawn Michaels in my head, honestly. And then that just really just sets you in reality. Like hitting rock bottom really was great for me because it made me be able to look in the mirror and realize, okay, I have some of my own issues I need to work on, severe issues, obviously. I mean, let's be honest. But so I've been working on that stuff, doing my stuff, and it feels good. I mean, it's good, though, when you're down and out because you're real boys that really support you and your real crew's going to be there for you. So that's why I'm happy that, like, it really just put things in perspective for me. Like, who's on my team for real, not just like, hey, can you help me out here and here? Who's actually checking on me while I'm down and out? And it was quite surprising to see, honestly, because a lot of people switched up or just turned on me even while I was down and out, where it's like, bro, I'm literally doing nothing besides laying on the couch. Like, fuck you. Whatever.
Would you like to throw out any of those people's names? Like a big fuck you to anybody who's...
no, absolutely not. I'm not here to bury, brother. I'm about positivity. Okay. I'm not.
Who checked on you? Who was a good brother and checked on you? That's what I was.
I mean, Heath, just really? Legend. Yeah, just a low key one. I mean, obviously, all my boys were there for me. Prize, Justice, Hardway, PME. You know what I mean? Like the local hometown boys. Obviously, my boy Manders. But I mean, Heath, Jinder randomly hit me up. I mean, just some of those guys. I mean, that's cool. I appreciate it. Filthy Tom. Like, I appreciate the Enzo randomly. Because, like, those dudes, Westside Gun, Smoke Dizza, Gun was there for me big time, just helping me out. Because, I mean, I was so just distraught and just crashing out. Like, I thought my life was done, honestly. I was just crashing out for the first few months I was hurt. And then, luckily, just got good pep talks and just, like, good crews and just thinking, like, I mean, Ethan Page was another guy that said to me one time that really put some shit into perspective for me where it's like, all right, I can't keep living my life like I was before. I need to make some changes, alterations, and then just get back and ready to rip it because, I mean, I think I'm a top guy. I'm ready to be a top guy. And so, I mean, it's time to show I should be a top guy and not let other small outside noise slow me down or pay attention to other things.
Yeah, you should be a top guy. I'm looking forward to you being a top guy. And you mentioned Westside Gun and, you know, Fourth Rope and everything you got going on there. Like, can you elaborate more on your relationship with those guys? Because you were like, I think you were the first person they like technically sponsored, right?
Oh, yeah, which is obviously just great timing to then just snap your arm for the first time ever getting hurt right after they announced that. Like, really makes everyone look great. You know what I mean? That's a great timing thing-wise. But, I mean, yeah, Gun's the man, honestly. Like, there's really nothing. He's just cool. We met last year in Tampa. My dude J-Mo, a.k.a. Billy Clubs, linked it up, and then we just got to talk and got the business. We didn't talk about anything Fourth Rope. I didn't know anything about Fourth Rope or how it was in their plans or anything. We just started talking about wrestling and what do you like, who's your favorites, like me, him, Dizza, and what do we like about wrestling, what do we dislike, and we're all pretty similar-minded. I mean, we had 3 different favorite wrestlers, like Guns was Scott Hall, Razor Ramon, Dizza's was Hogan, I believe, and then obviously mine's Jeff Hardy. So, like, we're from 3 different perspectives of a fan, you know what I mean? But it was just interesting to just have good talks, good conversations. Like, I mean, Fourth Rope's just, it's the shit, I'll be honest with you guys. It's really the shit. Like, there's just nothing like it. I've been on a lot of shows. There's nothing like the energy of these Fourth Rope shows. That's why I'm loving it.
I was going to ask you about... I was going to say real quick, based off that, I wanted to ask you about your cage match with Zilla at Fourth Rope.
At 4:30 in the morning? Look at that scar. I think about that cage match every day of my fucking life, Zilla Fatu. You think I don't think about this when I look in the mirror when you headbutted me with that big Samoan noggin? Every fucking day of my life I got to think about this. You think I'm not going to get my receipts on you and get that title? It's coming. We got a common enemy night right now with Reality of Wrestling. These boys had no business putting their hands on me. But, I mean, they're putting some heat on Zilla, and it's like, all right, I mean, I respect this dude. You know what I mean? Obviously, Zilla's a real one. And it's like, you can't come in here into my house. Even though I might not be the champ, Fourth Rope is my house. Let me make that pretty fucking clear. I don't even need a title. I'm the king of the world. And So I just had to stick up for my boy. Ended up me getting smoked too, but it's all right. We'll come back. You see what we did at Reality? Flew out of Houston. Little private beatdown. Me and my boy Joe Alonzo, and then yeah, we're just freaking rocking and rolling. Honestly, fourth rope. I mean, it's different. There's some big things planned. I can't spoil anything. Sorry, can't give you sheets any new juicy details today, but maybe in the future.
I was gonna say they're posting the show on this Sunday. So
Yeah,
it'll
Sunday.
Be up, yeah, it'll
Mother's
be up on
Day. Listen, grab your
Yep.
moms and say, Mom, I would love to watch a cage match that took place at 3. You have to understand, I went out there at 3:45 in the morning. All right? Not even the latest I've ever wrestled either. But 3:45 a.m., ready to rock and roll. Zilla's lucky that it wasn't 3:30. Wasn't 3:15, 3:20. Everyone knows after 3:31, Josh Bishop gets a little too sleepy. And so he had a slight edge on me. But next time, it'll happen at probably, hopefully, closer to 9 p.m. Eastern time, not 9 a.m. Eastern time. But, you know, beggars can't be choosers in this world, and you got to try and make chicken salad out of chicken shit. Unfortunately, I was not able to get the job done that night.
But you did get the job done at BLP against
Oh,
Raj Desi.
Raj.
Yeah.
Raj. All
Tell us
those
about winning that
check-ins.
title.
Raj, you're checking in on me, buddy. It was just me just trying to lure you in. So, because I knew that match was coming. Then I said, take you down exit 187. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy, man. Former WWE champion, former BLP champion. Legend, honestly. He's the man. He was cool. I mean, I got nothing bad to say about him. I got nothing but respect for him. He was the man. It was just awesome to be able to get in there with a guy of that, like, caliber and size, like an actual top guy. You know what I mean? Because one thing I've been a little nervous about is I shed like 20 pounds since I've been off, and I just feel so agile and mobile and like just so free when I move. That it's, and even my strength hasn't even decreased or anything. I'm still repping 315 now. I just hit 495 for a set at 10 on squats the other day for my last set. So like I'm still stronger than everyone else that's a vanilla midget jabroni that's afraid to hit in the gym. But I just don't have the same weight as I used to. So I'm a little nervous about that, but I've been trying to rock and roll.
I like that you have been able to get in there with a guy like the former Jinder Mahal too, because size wise, as you mentioned, like there's not a whole lot of people on the indies that have like, I mean, you guys are former WWE world champion. Like, I mean,
exactly.
So do you feel like that is only going to just prepare you even? Because I know at some point, like you're going to, I don't want to jinx stuff. I've been saying this stuff about you forever. Like I see you as a top TV star.
You can say it.
I do.
The people are thinking it. You can say it.
So I like seeing when you get to match up with guys like Jinder, because it's like that's more of what I want to see you doing on television sometimes.
Yeah, me too. Shit, man. I'd love to get in there with these TV guys and just show, hey, I can actually work and like be the man in the ring. I don't have to just do this hardcore stuff. But to me, it's also like I'd rather just set some chairs up and throw you through because it's fun as a fan to watch.
It is.
So it's just cut between. I just feel like I'm constantly stuck between a rock and a hard place. But trying to get away from the not the violence, but just like the trying to shed the like hardcore lazy wrestler stigma that comes with all hardcore wrestlers that they don't know how to actually wrestle or do anything. Even though I would say that's severely the opposite and a lot easier to not do hardcore wrestling and incorporate it because it's more risky. But you know what I mean? Flavors of ice cream. Wrestling's flavors of ice cream. But yeah, I'm trying to just show I can have every flavor and be in there with anyone. Honestly, that's my big goal, is to just show that I can just work everyone, any style, any size, no matter what, no matter where you've been, where you're going. I just want to get in there and light it up with anyone.
You mentioned earlier, before the injury, you were at TNA Slammiversary, flanking.
PCO. Good night, buddy.
Yep.
Pierre, thanks for coming. AJ said, here's a bag. I said, all right, I'll be there.
Let's just say, what was that whole experience like for you?
I mean, legendary, man. I love TNA. What do you think? I love TNA so much. Like, and then the craziest part is, like, this is what I'm talking about, these moments when I think, like, all right, my life is over. And this is why it's good. You can never get down and out. Never can be too down on yourself. There's always, you know what I mean? All these cliches and these stupid things that people say. Yeah, some of it's true, but also some of it's a little too preachy. But, 6 months before the day I had surgery, like 6 months to the date of when I had surgery is when I came back at South by Southwest and did a run-in at Fourth Rope in Austin and laid out Zilla to set up this Vegas show. And it was just so funny because 6 months, like, to the day going into surgery, I thought my life was over, completely over. And now flash forward 6 years, and I'm getting, like, a little pep-up talk from my favorite wrestler of all time. Like, bro, you got this shit kind of talk. And it's just like, damn, bro, like, really, your life can change like that because I'm at rock bottom, and now I'm getting talked to by my favorite wrestler. I'm at an event I never thought I would be at, South by Southwest, which, like, I mean, if you're only, like, strictly, hey, I only watch wrestling, I only know indie wrestling, I only care about wrestling, like, you probably don't know what South by Southwest is or are hip to it, but if you're, like, into mainstream culture, what's going on in the world, you're aware of what South by Southwest is, I would assume. And so it was just cool to be at this festival where so many guys that I've enjoyed through music or different arts or comedy, whatever, they all talk about how it's South by Southwest, they got a break and this happened, whatever. So it's just cool to be there, and, like, we have these performer passes because we're, like, a performer, so we can just go wherever. And it was just cool, honestly. Like, that's what's cool about Fourth Rope. It's just different opportunities. It's cool. It's just stuff that's cool.
I was curious if you have been backstage in any WWE shows since we last talked.
What was the
the last time we interviewed you?
Was it bootleg shirts?
It was,
Yeah.
It was, yeah.
Old bootleg shirts Bishop made a return at SummerSlam when I was copping a fresh SummerSlam bootlegger. But at Mania this year, there wasn't any good bootlegs, and I was kind of pissed. What's hilarious? I mean, this is some shit that probably Westside Gun gets annoyed about by rolling with me. But, like, bro, I don't care. I'm not switching up for anyone. We're pulling out a SummerSlam. He's trying to get to the whip, the Escalade, whatever the fuck he's got for us. And I'm like, yeah, bro, I gotta get this street shirt. It was like, what? I'm like, yeah, I gotta go get one of these street shirts from these vendors. And so I had to go leave for like 5 minutes, and he just had to wait for me because I had to go. And then I had to go negotiate with this dude. The event's already over, bro. Just sell me the shirt for $5, $10. Are you kidding me? So then I had to get this SummerSlam bootleg, which looks awful, but I love it. Of course, I love the terrible T-shirts. You know what I mean? So I just have this terrible. It's like half Cody faced, half Rhea faced. It's like so bootleg. I love it though. It was like $10. But the Mania ones I didn't see any WrestleMania ones this year. I don't know if Allegiant Stadium has like a fucking no bootleg policy or some shit, but I was kind of pissed.
There were no bootlegs the entire week, even leading up to it or anything.
I didn't go to anything besides. I went. No, I didn't even go to TNA. I wanted to go to TNA and I fell asleep. But which sounds bad when you say it like that. But I had. Sorry,
no, you were busy. No,
you were on East Coast. You're on East Coast time.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, and and also no one told me what time we were going, so I just forgot to set an alarm. But and I don't want to show up to things late because then I feel awkward, so I just didn't go. But how do you? Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Yeah, but then so at Mania there was no bootleggers, and I was so salty because I'm like, dude, WrestleMania there's gonna be like a granddaddy like something that looks like I don't want. Also, I want this to be. If you're a new fan of the program and this is your first time tuning in because I'm Intense Icon Speak, I don't want a good-looking T-shirt. I want this shirt to look like it was made in Microsoft Paint. Like, that's my ideal bootleg, is as terrible as possible. That's what I live for.
Well, and for people who may not know what we're referring to, like you were backstage at a WWE show wearing a bootleg shirt, like meeting the talent and stuff.
So as a rib one time when I was with John Thorne at Monday Night Raw, I was like, dude, when I was wearing a Raven TNA shirt, and he was like, I know you can wear that on camera. And I'm like, shit, you're right. So I got a boot. I'm like, dude, $30 for a fucking T-shirt is a lot. No offense, WWE, but I'm like, I'm just kidding. Actually, because I'm about to start selling merch, so mine will probably be $30. So $30 is a fucking perfectly fine amount of money to spend on a T-shirt.
I'm showing up at AIW, and I'm gonna get the Josh Bishop bootleg shirt.
Yeah, I might. I was thinking about selling merch, and I might do 30. Yeah, you should.
You should do a bootleg. You should do a bootleg version of your own stuff, Josh. Like, you should have like the $30 version and like the $20 version that's like way cheaper.
Yeah, people should just do my own. Yeah, bootleg. Make your own Josh Bishop merch. I'll wear it to the ring. That's sick. That's hard. That'd be hard. Put some flames on that Tito Ortiz style at the bottom. That's hard. A little Ed Hardy bedazzle. And You do not want to fuck with me at a Buffalo Wild Wings when the UFC's on. Let me tell you something, buddy. You will not be getting fucked with at the UFC event with Buffalo Wild Wings. If you got that bootleg Josh Bishop Ed Hardy design on, dude, that's just screaming toughest guy in the bar.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, but yeah,
face the pain on the jukebox.
Yeah, so I haggled this guy down outside of the Rocket Mortgage Arena for $7 to get this T-shirt. Slew it on. Then all of a sudden, we're going backstage in Raw, and I'm like, "Fuck, dude, I'm in this terrible." And this was like a 2004 WWE Scratch logo, plus like Matt Riddle, like Bianca Belair, China, like people from just these random eras. And then it was like hashtag Raw25 on the back. It was like so just terrible. And I was like, this is great. And then we're like, it's great. Like, oh, like with your boys outside the arena first. You know what I mean? And then you're like getting pulled back and it's like, fuck, I'm trying to get a job. You know what I mean? Low key. So it's like you're kind of standing around like this, like, fuck, hope Triple H walks by and looks at me and it's like, the fuck's this kid? But I'm just standing there in a fucking bootleg. Probably looking like the biggest idiot.
It's so great.
Yeah, and I'm just chilling, posted up in the corner, just pretty much literally like this, just like so uncomfortable because like I shouldn't be back there. You know what I mean? And it's like,
y'all hiring?
And then it's like I know some guys, so like some guys are walking past me and saying what's up, or I'm getting a dap up, but then like look at the T-shirt and kind of chuckle because like if you know me, you know that's funny that I'm wearing this stupid T-shirt. You know what I mean? But then if you don't know me, you just think I'm some big goof backstage. Like who the fuck is this guy?
You could pass for an extra anyway, though. I don't know how many extras.
Bro, I was wearing like blown out jeans and fucking bootleg T-shirt and boots and a full on fanny pack, just like brothered out, just like it's like some Luke Gallows shit where he's, you know what I mean, that art of wrestling story where his dad just pushes him to the back and just says walk back there. That's what I felt like. I'm like, dude, what am I fucking doing back here?
If you're modeling your career after anybody though, Luke Gallows is a pretty
good
the big
LG is a G. Yeah, the big LG is a G.
That dude gets paid the most to take like one bump a match. That's the life right there.
Yeah.
Luke Gallows.
All-timer legend. Oh, an all-timer legend.
Another guy that oh yes, he is. Another guy that I know you're friends with, that you have like a WWE connection with, that we had on again pretty recently with Alec Price. He said a lot of good things about
that's my dog.
I wanted to hear you talk about Alec. He's been having a lot of success right now.
Yeah, that's my brother. That's my brother right there. I mean, we met in 2019, clicked off rip. You know what I mean? Similar-minded thinkers. Spent a week together in Orlando doing something. I'm not sure if we're allowed to talk about that. So, I mean, I'm sure if you're a fucking detective, you can put it together what it was. Obviously, didn't go how either of us wanted to that week in Orlando. So then we just became brothers in the trenches. And, I mean, after that, just became straight boys of boys. I mean, I've talked to him probably every week for the last 4 years, 5 years at least.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, and he's just the man in the ring. Like, there's no one. I say it all the time. I mean, people get pissed at me probably because I always just say he's the best wrestler in the world. Like, some people pick me up from the airport and they were discussing a show and like talking. Someone was trying to talk dirty on him, and I was just like, hey, don't talk dirty on him. One, that's my boy, and two, he's fucking so much better than you in the ring. So like, why are you chirping about him? And then he just didn't say anything back, and it's like, you know, he's better than you. But I mean,
that's awesome. He's gonna snap back at you. He's gonna be dumb enough to tell you you're wrong. So
yeah, I mean, no, they didn't say shit, and then they just waited till I got out of the car and then told who was driving. Like, I can't believe your boy talked to us like that. I mean, I'm not gonna let you talk shit about my boys. You know what I mean? I stand up for my crew, which has probably got me in a lot of trouble actually. But if I would be quieter, I would probably made it a lot farther by now. But
you're still young though. Yeah, you're still young. How old are you now, Josh?
27, man. I'm getting up there.
Still young.
27, man. Fuck.
You're still not even in your prime yet.
I know I'm not. I feel like I'm just like learning like mentally how to wrestle. Like mentally, I'm like feeling like so connected with like fluid in the ring where it's like I don't have to think about this shit. It's just like.
Oh, people say it all the time. Like they don't get it until they're like 35 to 40, and that's when they like really starting to figure it out. So 27, yeah. So got plenty of time.
I'm just swinging this 100-pound kettlebell, just trying to get as big as possible. That's it.
I wanted to ask you real quick also before we run out of time here that what are your thoughts on MLW? You had a really good run there. I like the whole WTF thing. And
yeah, so MLW, I mean, it was cool. I mean, obviously, I wish things would have been different in certain regards, but I mean, I got no hate or beef or anything. They gave me some good opportunities. I got to work with Riddle. That was cool. I mean, cool singles match in Chicago. I got to work Justice. That was cool. And then we did the War Chamber thing, and it was fine. But I mean, I kind of got hurt, kind of bad. I kind of got hurt at one point, so it kind of just messed up some of the plans and stuff. And then after that, it was kind of just like, well, I mean, just whatever. You know what I mean? It was like,
yeah,
we really don't have shit for you, and like, you don't really want to sign here. So like, I was like, yeah, respect.
I mean, that happens to a lot of, like, we've interviewed a lot of wrestlers that have been in that same exact boat with MLW. So, I mean, it's not like a unique.
Yeah, I'm not trying to bury him or talk shit.
Yeah.
That's really never my intentions, is to be a shit talker.
Sure. We're on good terms with MLW, this show, and our outlet. So, like, no, we know.
I had a great time with the WTF, the World Titan Foundation or Federation. I mean, great. Shout out to the Real Deal, Zeta Steel, AJ Francis, the Broski. Who else was it? The Hammerstone. Filthy Tom, teaming with Filthy Tom, that was the best shit. I mean, there's nothing more fun than just doing shit with your boy. And Filthy Tom's just one of my boys. So like, just on so many levels, just so funny. Probably one of the funniest human beings of all time.
It's so funny because he's such a legitimate badass of a fighter too. On top, I remember him in the UFC. Like, you would always piss off Dana White because he'd come out to like Christmas music or something, and like, yeah. He's the man. He was the first ever BLP champion, if I remember correctly.
Exactly. Yeah, and I used to be. That's what I mean. You know what? Hey, BLP, let me get in there with Filthy Tom, because it's a straight coming full story. If you're a long-time Black Label fan, since the second show, I've been rolling around as I was his little jabroni for a little bit, and as a little crony henchman, which was awesome because he kind of just made that spot and was like, "Hey, just show up to the show. You're booked," and that really wasn't. And then he was kind of like, "Hey, Mikey, I want this guy to be my manager," and like. That's how it happened, really. So respect to Filthy Tom for just getting me on the show. That's my dog.
When we interviewed him, different show, he put you over big time.
Nice.
So,
thank God. I hope so. Or you could say I suck and I'm a piece of shit, and that'd be fair either way. One time I accidentally powerbombed him in the back on accident. Like 5 minutes before supposed to. Yeah, I just gave him a last ride. I was like, "Hey, come here. Let me see if I can pick you up for this last ride." And then I just gave him the move on the concrete floor. I have no idea why. I was like 22, maybe 21. I was super nervous. And I just fucking last ride to this guy in the locker room. Like 5 minutes before the match was supposed to happen. And as I'm like slamming him down, I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? But then you're like already committed. So it's like, fuck. My boy. Yeah.
You were wild. I mean, you're still nuts, but like, you were really wild back then, dude.
Yeah,
like, I remember.
I used to be crazy. I've calmed down so much, but I used to be just be unhinged, just an idiot. But not like crazy where I'm like living like a rock star, like crazy, you know what I mean? Like being a maniac. Just crazy in the fact that I'm just such an idiot. Just some of these things I do are just like, bro, what? I like some Three Stooges lifestyle. That's more so my craziness.
Where you've had like those big like balcony dives and stuff with Justice and stuff, and like I remember being live in the Basement East. You mentioned Manders earlier. I remember y'all beating the shit out of each other. Like that was like one of the. I was like, this is like the realest match I've seen in my life. Where, like, you guys just,
I
like,
love wrestling Manders. Just getting in there and just hitting someone just so hard, or it's just like, all right, listen, dude, don't knock me out, don't break my teeth, but let's just go beat the piss out of each other for these people's entertainment, because they're going to feed off of it and feed off that reality of the real violence.
I have to ask about, again, this is a pre-injury, but when is Jeff Jarrett going to get a receipt?
Dude, Double J. Listen, Double J and Saddam Singh, I would love to get in there with both of you in a little tag team match. Either it's me and Zagura, me and Filthy Tom, me and Sam Holloway, whichever ones. I'm Singh. I'm trying to get in there with. That's one of my dream matches. If I had one of those lists,
that rules.
You know what I mean? You know those little list things that people make? Yeah, Saddam Singh. Fucking, I'd love to put a check mark next to you in a singles match, buddy.
That would absolutely
that would
rule.
be awesome.
Yeah.
I'm gonna. I mean,
My
I'm gonna
list is
plan
a lot.
as-
Jensen,
my list
you
is a
book
lot
this?
different. My list is a lot
Huh?
different than probably most wrestlers. I'm sure. I don't care who's the flavor of the month. I want to get in there with some fucking characters and have some fun.
No, your list would probably be amazing if Satnam Singh
Yeah.
is at the top of it
yeah.
or top 5.
Dude,
This is the
he
kind
was-
of shit I'm here
dude,
for.
I can't wait. I would love to pick him up. He was like I was like, dude, trust me, I can lift you up I can lift you. I don't think anyone's ever picked him up before in his life. And I was just trying to like, hey, I can show you. I can just lift you up. It's like some of the things where it's like, I need to realize, like, dude, you can't just go lifting people up like that.
I'm just gonna power bomb you here on this concrete backstage. Don't worry about it. We're good.
Yeah, in the back. It's like, dude, I need to get some better self-awareness, really.
Speaking of lifting people up, are you going more with like the Bishop Bomb as the move right now, or more of like the jackhammer type move you did on Jinder? Like what can I expect is kind of like your finish right now? Because I love your move set. Like you got a lot of options.
Yeah, it's sweet, man. I just do the coolest moves. No, sorry, I'm just fucking around.
No,
But
for real, it's awesome.
I appreciate that.
No, that
Yeah, I appreciate that. I don't know, just sometimes, you know what I mean? Sometimes you're just sometimes a little hard to, hey, you want to take this 8-foot drop or you want to take the jackhammer?
Oh, I see. Okay. Gotcha. Well, I like seeing you lift people up.
Yeah, same.
Especially big people.
And then just
So.
throwing them to the ground. It's my favorite. Because there's no one I'll ever not be able to get up and lift. Because I used to train at this powerlifting gym in Columbus. It was made out of like the outskirts of a lot of guys, and Westside Barbell closed down for years. And like that's how I learned how to get strong. Like there's a difference between being like the strongest guy, like the YMCA, and then like a real deal like powerlifting, like band chain workout, like screaming, smelling salt. Like that's why I got the smelling salts from that I come out to the ring with sometimes. It's just from this gym because it's like everyone kept everyone accountable. So it's like shout out to Doghouse in Columbus, Ohio, actually. But you would take these smelling salts, and if someone saw you were sleepy, they'd come just, here you go, brother, you know, wake up. And just, whew, and then it's like, all right, now it's time to rock and roll. Time to hit these 150s. Just do. And it's like every set, you're just hammering these smelling salts, probably just destroying your brain. But just like, woo, time to ride. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, those are big in powerlifting. Those are big in
Yeah,
pro
exactly.
football.
Yeah.
Like Joe Rogan endorses the hell out of them.
Yeah.
Did you need those for your 3 a.m. match with Zilla?
Dude, I didn't have any, honestly. I'm not sure it's been kind of hard to find some lately, honestly.
I'm gonna be in Columbus tomorrow, so
I'm not trying to get
I can get you any.
listen, I'm not trying to be too political on this video, you know what I mean?
Sure.
But I'm just saying, once Biden got in office, it was a little hard to get smelling salts. So, listen, you know what I mean? Trump, I get it, you're back. You got a lot of big shit on your plate. If you could just go ahead and maybe undo whatever smelling salt fucking tariffs or whatever the fuck there is, the tariffs on the smelling salts, then we can get those back up on Amazon Prime for your boy over here. Because, I mean, listen, you know what I mean? I'm not trying to cause any mischief. You know what I mean? I respect everyone's opinions politically, whatever they are. You know what I mean? I respect everyone's opinions. Everyone has their own views. You know what I mean? That's cool. That's what makes everyone individual. But I'm just saying, when the last regime took over, smelling salts went away on Amazon Prime. So I'm not a detective, but if we could just go ahead and fix that. You know what I mean? Like, let's get to the real issues here. Like, I didn't hear anyone talk about that on the ballot. Where's that at? Where's my debates? Who's going to represent me? Where's my political candidate, dude? What the fuck's RFK doing for me?
Yeah.
If I find some in Columbus, I will send them your way.
Thanks. I'd love that. I mean, I could probably just get them off a different website, honestly. I've just been being lazy.
I imagine I'm going to the Sonic Temple Festival.
Ooh,
yeah.
See my boys ICP.
You're talking about
ICP's fine. ICP's fine, but like I'm not into a lot of these
JCW
bands.
champion, JCW world. Get ready, I'm coming back for my crown. I never lost it. I mailed it in the time. I mailed it. I sent it in the mail because I broke my arm. And I missed the gathering, and I'm pissed about it. So now you've got to deal with some extra stiff violence.
Do you have Any like gathering memories or stories you can talk?
Oh, not a single one I can say on this podcast.
Okay.
Not a yeah. I have 1,000 of them. Not a single one I can say. I've seen untapped, just unlimited mischief and debauchery.
I'm sure.
Yeah. Maybe my vlog series will kick off by the time I go to the gathering.
That would be. I would watch. I'd like subscribe and watch for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you gonna be showing up back up in JCW soon?
Pretty soon.
Do you have plans? Okay.
Yeah, pretty.
They've been doing those lunacy shows recently on YouTube, getting more exposure.
Oh yeah, yeah. There's some things in the works. I don't want to spoil anything. You know what I mean? I want to be that guy that says, "Hey, look at all this cool shit I'm doing," and then nothing happens. I act like an idiot.
Sure.
But Gary Morton, count the days, boy. Count the fucking days.
Oh man, you have any like other? I know there's other wrestlers you haven't wrestled that you'd like to, but anyone like really stand out as like a dream match or whatever you'd want to call it for someone you really want to get in the ring with that you haven't?
Fuck, man. Yeah, I want to get in there with Santana, actually.
Oh, that'd be a good one.
Yeah,
that'd be a real good
he's
one.
like the TNA ace or whatever now. I mean, I'd love to get. First of all, I need to get back to the Impact Zone somehow, and then I want to get in there and rip it up with this dude and show that I can be a top guy. I mean, Joe Henry, obviously, you know what I mean? He's a TNA champ, so everyone wants to wrestle whoever the top guy is. But yeah, I mean, I want to wrestle just diverse opponents. That's my big goal when I'm back. Because I just want to wrestle diversity, show I can do more than just chairs and doors. Even though I think I'm the best at that, but flavors of ice cream.
Yes. As a fan of you as a human being, though, it would be a little more. It'd be nice to see you not get hit in the head so often with like.
Oh, I don't
some
even
of these
do
objects.
that. I really don't. I'm a hands up guy more so, but also, all right, this is a different conversation that we could talk about. But it's just like, if people really train their neck, and you guys get a little thing called the iron neck, and you work on your neck strength. You can protect your brain, but you know what I mean? You can't talk about that. It's a touchy matter. I'm not trying to, you know what I mean? But if you just train your neck every day also, you know what I mean? I'm not saying you can do that all the time, but it really helps when you look into some of the science, but you know what I mean? Sensitive matters. I'm not trying to upset anyone or trigger anyone. That's never my intentions here, but yeah, no, but I am a hands up guy for sure. I mean, that's it. I'm not trying to, just melt my brain. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I still like seeing you having those types of matches, whether you're receiving this stuff or whether you're like throwing Hunter Drake into like chairs.
Fuck get fucked. Get fucked. You fucking sign the waiver to get in the ring with me. Tuck your fucking chin, buddy. Tuck your fucking chin, bitch.
Was there actual heat there?
No.
Oh, well, I was like, damn, dude, what did Hunter Drake do to you? I mean,
nothing. He signed the compete clause. He signed the waiver and entered the ring. I said, oh, fuck. I said, I wonder how far I can throw this guy. Fuck.
Well, yeah.
Josh, we appreciate you joining us.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I appreciate it. Sorry, I was just on one off rip when I got on today. Not even quiet talk Bishop mode today. Just on one off rip.
Dude, we appreciate it.
Yeah, we always appreciate you having us. Glad you're back. Glad you're doing well. It's always good to talk to you.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. I appreciate it big time. Hopefully it was all right. Hopefully nothing was crazy talk or too.
I will find out when I write some clickbait headlines and
with
people.
Once you get that new merch out there, let me know. I will purchase a $30 Joshua Bishop t-shirt.
I will purchase the $5
Way to shoot myself
version.
in the foot, huh? Way to shoot myself. Because Westside Gun shirts are like 80 bones, and I'm like, dude. Every time someone's like, "Hey, I bought this shirt with your face on," I'm like, I appreciate you, but also I'm like, what?
You want to plug anything before you leave, Josh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you cut out that last part though, where we just talked about that random shit? Where I was just, is that cool or no? Or is this like live?
It's live.
Oh,
It's live.
Yeah, we're live.
Never mind. Then fuck it.
Dude, no, there's nothing in here that will get you in any kind of trouble.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
I am straight sitting it right now, but fucking Joshua Bishop II on Instagram. I'm gonna make a Teespring. I made a Teespring in a Big Cartel, but every time I upload my products into it and then try and make it for sale, it just collapses my whole Big Cartel store. So that's really the issue on me selling merch. But whenever that's out, I'll throw it on the gram, and Twitter I really don't use because everyone's just crazy on there and crazy talks. I'll get on it for like 5 minutes and then be like, oh yeah, so I don't use the app, then get off for like 6 months. But trying to be more active online, go on a run. So, yeah, man, come out the Fourth Rope, come out the Black Label or any other shows that I'm on in the area if you see me.
Will do. And if there's anything, there's nothing we can do about it. We're live, pal. But
yeah,
but,
I know.
But if
Fuck, is that funny?
Fuck
is that
I told you
one?
though in the but I told you in the DMs. I was clear in the DMs. We were live.
Yeah, that was
clear
true. I know.
But
I don't know if it was live to tape.
Well, we do re-upload the actual interview as a separate one usually,
Okay.
so maybe we can cut it out of like the second airing. But
whatever. Fuck
you didn't say anything that's going to get you any trouble. Nothing.
Yeah, that's true.
I understand what you're saying about the next strength is that you're doing. There are advanced technology. There's things that people are trying to have longevity in their career, and people are going to try different stuff. I mean, so I don't think what he said is even controversial. So
okay, all right, cool. Because I'm not trying to be a controversy guy. I'm trying to be just Mr. Wow, this guy's doing good, and not Mr. My real big name. Or nah, I don't want to get into that. Just never mind.
No, bro, I've got your back. Like I've told you,
appreciate it.
I've been a day one fan.
Which is why I appreciate you.
Ride or die. Yes.
Thank you.
So,
thank you. Appreciate
thanks, Josh.
All right, I'll
Appreciate
see you
it,
guys.
buddy.
Thank you.
Thanks, man.
Thank you. See you.
See ya.
Oh, Josh Bishop.
I told him
I'm
like
gonna
4 times we were live in the DM. So
No, I'll message him. I'll cut anything he wants me to cut. I have no problem doing that. It is.
He's the man.
He is. He's fantastic. It's good to catch up with him.
I've never been as sure. I didn't say this to him while I was live. I don't want to glaze him too hard, but I've never been more sure of anyone that I've ever seen as an independent wrestler as I am that Josh Bishop's going to be a major superstar in pro wrestling. In either, I mean, regardless of whatever company he wants, obviously he's had success in some major companies, but like AEW or NXT/WWE, like he is a bona fide main event player in one of those major companies. And I've been saying that since I can't say since the first time I saw him, because first time you see someone, they're brand new, they're figuring things out. The first time I saw him, he had painted on whiskers and he had the word slutty cat written across his chest. He came in a Halloween battle royal. So I'll take that back. The first time I saw him, I did not know if he was going to be the superstar that I eventually envisioned him as, but over the years, man, I can definitely see it. And we've talked to guys like John Thorne and people who have run promotions that he's worked with, and all of them say the same thing. They're like, dude prints money. We don't know what's taking so long, but like, we're glad to have him while we can, but everyone knows it's just a matter of time before he's the man in a real major promotion. So I appreciate Josh giving us that time. He's the kind of guy where I love that he comes on. He's that candid with us and when has those kind of conversations with us while we can get them, because some of these guys that I'm a fan of that we get to interview, eventually they do get signed and it becomes much more difficult to be able to interview them and stuff. So like, I'm glad we're able to do that. So I very much appreciate his time. And I don't know if you have any other thoughts on anything. We can I can go real fast through anything that's left, because I know you got to cover Collision. So I have multitasked plenty of times in the past. I think circling back to MJF and everything, I think Cedric ends up with Hurt Syndicate in the next couple of weeks, and MJF gets jumped out essentially. Gets the thumbs down. I agree. I could see that happening. I guess we'll get MJF versus, maybe MJF versus like each member of the Hurt Business Syndicate until he gets to Lashley. Eventually has to take him down. Maybe MVP actually winds up being the final guy for him or something, because they have like that long friendship or something. I don't know. We're in agreement though. Neither of us think that MJF's going to actually join the Hurt Syndicate, and we both think Cedric Alexander is going to join the group. So, yeah.
Jon Moxley and Samoa Joe in a cage match this upcoming week. Is there any chance Samoa Joe wins?
No.
No.
next spotlight. No, listen, I love Samoa Joe. I really do. I mean, he's excuse me, he's on a short list of like guys I have like a different level of respect for because of how long he's been around and how he's been a top guy pretty much everywhere he's been. Even in WWE, like he wasn't the guy that we got from like Ring of Honor, TNA, or even AEW, but like he was the same guy, but like just didn't get the same type of push consistently. Like he had his moments, but don't know what I mean. Samoa Joe is a legit OG, a legit legend. Like you're not gonna catch me hearing me say one bad thing about Samoa Joe. So like even when he won the AEW World Championship, I didn't think it made much sense for him to be the one to beat MJF, but I understand like why they did it when they did. They had to get the title off MJF. Adam Cole was hurt, so on and so forth. But even then, I was like, well, fuck it, it's Samoa Joe. I'm not gonna be mad about Samoa Joe. Like, you know, he's always gonna have that level of credibility. And the reason I say all this is because it's it's similar to the situation we're in with Moxley, where it's like I don't expect Samoa Joe to beat Moxley for the title, but if he did somehow do it, like I'm not going to be mad about it because he actually kills two birds with one stone. One, it might finally derail this Death Riders thing that's already been going on too long, and two, you know, Samoa Joe winning the World Championship. I'd actually be more interested in Samoa Joe as the champion right now than I am currently with Jon Moxley. But like, I don't think they're going to do it because obviously he's got the trios titles. He's doing this stuff with the ops. So I expect it to be a really good match, but I imagine the Death Riders somehow, even though it's a cage match designed to keep people out of the ring from interfering, I'd imagine they get involved in some way, shape, or form. And Moxley carries, because they haven't technically announced who gets a world title shot at Double or Nothing yet, right?
Nobody's getting world title shot at Double or Nothing.
So they're not going to do that at all. So the main title, and then the next defense would be All In, right?
Yeah. I think they're doing Anarchy. I think they're doing Anarchy in the arena at Double or Nothing.
Oh, right. Okay. Well, that actually makes a lot more sense because they're doing the title match on free TV and then no title match, Anarchy in the arena for the pay-per-view. Then we have to assume All In is where Moxley finally drops the world championship to, we'll talk about that more when we get to Double or Nothing, but you know, the winner of the Owen probably, whether it's Ospreay or Hangman, Darby's like halfway up the mountain or like not even halfway up the mountain. Like he's not going to be back and ready for this.
He's got a while.
So to answer your question, I honestly could have answered it with the no really quickly and just left it at that. And that would have been honest, but yeah,
I think
it's just a placeholder.
Hook is going to return and he is going to cost Samoa Joe.
Really? Do you think he joins the Death Riders or it's just like a thing? Oh, you do?
Yep. That's my prediction.
Is Hook was Hook's whole injury and stuff, was that all at work? I legitimately haven't looked into it at all.
I don't really know. They haven't said too much about it. Like there hasn't been a thing. Like he did a thing with a movie, but I think the movie was like already filmed and everything. You know, there was the report that he was like throwing up in the ring after like the attack, and so people thought he might have suffered a concussion, but I don't think that was ever confirmed or anything, so I'm really not sure.
Okay, because it seemed strange that they replaced, like if there wasn't something legitimate, it just seems like it was a strange idea to like replace Hook with Powerhouse Hobbs. Nothing against Hobbs, but like it was just kind of random how like last minute they needed to grab a different third person. Yeah. And for that to be a storyline just seems strange to me. They can make it into a storyline, like they can make it make sense now, and like whether it was legitimate or not, Hook could still come back. And I don't hate that idea, by the way. I do like the ops, though. I do like the group. I like the vibe of the group, I like their entrance and stuff. I like the guys involved. I liked Hook being in that, but it probably works better as a trio. And if like Hobbs is in, you know, maybe they just roll with that. So I could see that happening, though. I think that's a decent prediction, Hook because excuse me, is there any kind of stipulation in that match where it's like in the rules, like the Death Riders cannot? I mean, I know that's the concept.
It's a cage match. They shouldn't be.
No, I know. Well, dude, I know. Dude, trust me. I've talked to you about this too at the Continental Classic, how the rules are like, no one's supposed to interfere. And it's like, yeah, no shit. No one's supposed to ever interfere in any match. But because you can kind of like the reason I ask is because if they have that rule where it's like Moxley automatically loses the title if any of the current Death Riders, are involved in the match or whatever, but then like Hook is the reason and he's not in the Death Riders at the time of the match, and like that's kind of like the loophole of like how he helps and Mox still retains. I don't know. I also don't want this to be super overbooked either, but I expect it to be, considering what we got from all these other Death Riders or Moxley Death Rider title defenses. So anyway, we probably talked about this more than we need to. Samoa Joe is not going to win.
All right. Let's move on to our other spotlight.
Our product is what it is. We're going straight up the middle.
Trick Williams will challenge for the TNA World Title at NXT Battleground. Do you think Trick Williams whoops Joe Hendry and wins the TNA Championship?
Probably not. I don't follow the Tuesday show close enough to know if there would be like a reason for them to do that, or like a reason for TNA to want to do that, unless Hendry was like on the way out, which he might be for all I know. But like, I just don't really see a scenario where like I know we've seen it in the past, like Christian, this was a different regime, but like Christian winning the TNA championship from Kenny Omega, for instance, on AEW television. I just don't see them having Trick beat Hendry one-on-one and actually winning the championship. I like Trick, nothing against Trick. I just don't know why TNA would do that. I think if whenever Hendry loses, it would be to someone who's like actually on the TNA roster, like a Santana, for instance.
I think Trick is going to win.
Do you really?
Yes. I don't think it's... What?
I said, I wonder what Javon Evans thinks of all of this.
Well, he's gotten in trouble today. I don't know if he's gotten in trouble, but
no,
he deleted some tweets.
No, that's the reason I brought him. That's the reason I randomly brought his name up. I just happened to see that today, like on my timeline, is back and forth with Ricochet, and I was like, why are y'all doing this? But I mean, I didn't find it like offensive or anything personally. I thought it was funny, but like I don't know why he's like, don't jeopardize yourself like that, man. Like, you have such a bright future. You're so talented. Like, there's just no point.
Yeah.
But it's funny that, like, as somebody who appreciates internet trolling, like, it's funny to see this kind of stuff sometimes. But like, at the same time, why pigeonhole yourself like that? Like, why make the company mad at you for any reason that's like totally unnecessary,
I think Trick Williams is going to win. I think they're going to put the title on Trick because I think they need something more for Slammiversary, and Trick is something more. Why would TNA do that? Well, because TNA doesn't have a full choice on this. If NXT says, hey, we think you should put the title on Trick, they're probably going to be like, okay, sure. If you guys say so, whatever you want to do.
Well, yeah, I think if it came down to that kind of conversation, you're right. I just don't know if that's where they're at with this, where like they're just like, for whatever reason, they're just like dead set on them wanting Trick Williams to, like WWE, that is, like wanting Trick Williams to be the TNA champion for whatever reason. I don't know. I'm actually kind of surprised Trick Williams isn't on like Raw or SmackDown at this point, because he's gonna run out of stuff to do in NXT unless I guess he becomes the TNA champion. Maybe that's what they're gonna have him doing. I don't know. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't have Joe Hendry lose to anyone outside of the actual TNA roster coming off of. I know he got technically kind of squashed by Randy Orton or whatever, but like, there's a lot of eyes on the company. Rebellion, I thought was a very good show actually, from top to bottom. And I just think a guy like Mike Santana is who keeps coming to mind, but like they have people on that roster like Santana that like the rub should go to him. It feels like. So this is my personal thoughts on it. Nothing against Trig.
The other spotlight is Tetsuya Naito leaving New Japan, and he's going to get eye surgery. He's going to go under treatment for his knee, and we shall see what the future holds. He says he has had no talks with AEW or not been contacted by AEW. What do you think the future is going to hold for Naito?
I was kind of surprised by that interview that he did where he was talking about these things, because like I don't think that he was being disingenuous or like trying to like, I don't think he was trying to be like a red herring or anything like that. I think AEW legitimately isn't interested in him. You know what I mean? I don't think WWE would be interested. And I talked about this when there was the news of him leaving New Japan a little while back. And he seemed kind of salty towards Tanahashi. Like maybe he wasn't. Maybe it's just like the way that I perceive. Like I watched the video. I watched the video of him talking, but it was translated. So like I don't know. He was kind of saying what it sounded like to me was that like he has a lot of respect for Tanahashi. He pretty much joined New Japan and wanted to be a part of New Japan. A lot of the reason was because of Tanahashi, but like it's felt like they were kind of at odds in current day. And maybe that has to do with also with like him leaving the company while Tanahashi's like the president or whatever his role is with New Japan. So like, it just seems like there's a lot of layers to this, but none of them look good for Naito. And it isn't like it isn't like on him as a person or anything like that. It just doesn't look good as far as like his options. Because like I said, I don't see any reason why AEW would be interested. The few times he's done stuff with them, the crossovers with New Japan, he has looked like a shell of his former self. He's too old and too broken down, in my personal opinion, to have any type of NXT run or main roster WWE run outside of a few maybe dream matches where he'd have to be super, super protected in those matches. And outside of that, like, I just don't. It's not like he's going to go on like this big like indie run. I mean, he might work some indies, but I don't see him like working the indie circuit and like tearing down his body even more for like less money and less eyes on his matches and stuff. It just seemed like New Japan, he was just going to be a lifer there. Like it just made sense for him to end his career there. So I guess confusing is like really the biggest thing I could say. It's just kind of confusing how whatever happened between him and the company, him and Tanahashi, whatever it is. Because also, for all I know, this happens a lot in sports. Happens all the time in sports, where like, you know, someone just kind of hangs on too long. Like you think you've still got it, and you keep coming back year after year, but like your performances are declining, and you won't come to terms with that. And eventually, it's like, man, had you just stopped a little earlier, you would have gotten like the hero send off. But now you've hung out too late, and now you're like, you know, you know what I mean? Like his exit from New Japan should have been like a career celebration. Instead, it's like, see ya, and good luck finding a job anywhere else. You know, this is kind of, you know what I mean? So
I think he's going to end up in WWE, and he's going to be part of Chase U.
Dude, I saw that Chase U is reforming, and now my hope is alive again for Jack Cartwheel, male cheerleader of Chase U. I've been calling for it for like 4 years now. So now that he's WWE ID'd and Chase U's coming back, I'm telling y'all, long play. Y'all can't convince me that there isn't somebody out there that is involved with the WWE that does not listen to the Weekender podcast. I've had too many coincidences happen where I've been like, wait a second, I just said that and it just happened. Like, and that was a really weird thing that I said that actually happened. That was a no chance scenario when it wound up happening. But yeah, that's all right. I'll just play proof. I'll just have to go back and find all the clips of me talking about Jack Cartwheel joining Chase U once it actually happens that date back to like the pandemic. So I saw that Brogan Finley's in that, which is interesting.
Yes. He is.
Or Uriah Hall, whatever his name is now. Is that it?
Uriah Connors. Uriah Hall
is a
UFC fighter.
Yeah. Shout out Brogan Finley.
All right. Our other indie spotlight.
I'm gonna give a big motherfucking shout out.
Fuego del Sol is no longer Fuego del Sol. Came back. He attacked his best friend Sam Stackhouse, and he is now KJ Orson. He got demasked at Joey Janela's spring break because he lost to Atticus Cogar. Now he is rebranded to KJ Orson.
I think this is great. This is like the best thing I think that could have possibly happened to Fuego. He's a super talented wrestler who got kind of pigeonholed in AEW as like a joke. And you had the whole like Cody Fuego 2 stuff and all that. And it was just like, he was always very talented, but you just didn't take him seriously. And on the indies, he's always been taken seriously because he always had great matches. And then GCW has done a great job, in my opinion, pushing him in that feud that he had with Atticus. I think was really, really well done. Him and Stackhouse basically fighting off the Cogar brothers, Atticus and Otis. And it all culminated with the Atticus story, at least, with Atticus winning his mask. And when that match was awesome, the finish of that match was incredible with the brain hemorrhage off the top, in the way that Fuego sold the brain hemorrhage on the top of the trash can that was sitting straight up. It was perfect. And I've talked about it 1,000 times. I love that Fuego's finishing move is that moonsault DDT that Rey Mysterio used to do back in like 97 WCW. Like, still one of my favorite moves. So Fuego is the man. And so is everyone else that I'm mentioning, by the way. Like, I'm a fan of all four of the guys that were, involved in that story. And then it winds up coming down to this past weekend where Sam Stackhouse is against Atticus Cogar, and we've interviewed Sam Stackhouse on this show before, and he's talked about his real life friendship with Fuego that goes back years and years and years. And it was wild because I actually did not see this coming. I did not see this turn the way it went down happening. So GCW caught me off guard, which I love when they get me like this. So basically what ends up happening is it looks like Stackhouse is going to, he's wrestling Atticus in the middle of the ring. They're going back and forth. Fuego winds up using a stun gun that you think he's going to use on Atticus, but he winds up using it on Stackhouse instead, and then gets hit with the brain hemorrhage. 1, 2, 3, that match ends. And afterwards, Fuego takes the steel chair and just throws it. It reminded me of like the Steen Generico stuff from Ring of Honor, just chair shot to the exposed dome of Stackhouse. Fuego also did like some promos, and like you mentioned, he's rebranded to KJ Orso. And like so many of these other guys that wear masks for so long in their career, like he's a really good looking guy. So like he's like a marketable, like you know what I mean? Like he's a guy who like there's something to the mask where like it can add to your character, it can be marketable, you can sell the mask and stuff like that. But there's like a human element that you remove by not being able to see all the facial features and stuff. And I just feel like Orso is going to just be able, his ceiling, I think, got a lot higher with what's happening right now. And I think he's going to be taken a lot more seriously. And I can honestly see him, especially based on the way he was booked as Fuego in GCW. He's had a great win-loss record there. I wouldn't be surprised at all if after the Stackhouse feud, if Orso was like the next main top heel of GCW and becomes a GCW champion. I wouldn't be surprised at all. So, but I wouldn't have said the same about Fuego. Maybe Fuego as a babyface if they booked it the right way when he still had the mask. Like I could have seen it depending on how they did it. But I just, like I said, I think his ceiling is just so much higher with this new look, no mask, heel turn. I think it's going to work really well for him.
I look forward to seeing what Fuego can do without the mask and as a heel. It was really well done. Like you said, everything from spring break to this past week with Sam Stackhouse. So we shall see. All right, Jensen, let everybody know where they can find you at.
You can find me on X at @FightTalk_. Use code FightTalk and IndependentWrestling.tv. And the Fightful Select Weekender podcast. It's every Sunday or Monday, depending on what's going on in the world of indie wrestling. I cover the world of indie wrestling on that show. It's on FightfulSelect.com. And we'll be here again next Thursday. I'll keep you all in the loop, and I'll keep Jeremy in the loop about 2 Thursdays from now is my birthday, so I'm still figuring out if I'm going to be around or not, and around like what time. But just look out for us here for most of the month, if not all of the month. And appreciate everyone who watched the show as always. Thank you again to Josh Bishop for joining the show too.
Appreciate Josh Bishop. Much appreciated for him joining the show. Guys, In the Weeds is tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern with SP3 and Joel. I'll not be on the show tomorrow. I'll be going to Death Metal. If you missed today's In the Weeds, we interviewed Mark Marrow, spoke to him for about 40 minutes. Really fun.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Johnny
really
B. Bad?
Yep. Johnny B. Bad, Mark Marrow. Yep. So it was a really fun interview. Everyone can go check that out. That's right here on the site. Appreciate guys hanging out in the chat, and we shall be back next week.